I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
This one's wife. Does anybody like her? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Narcissists are divisive people. As a consequence of some narcissists having genuine talent and ability, as a consequence of benign and malign manipulations, as a consequence of some managing facades, certain narcissists are loved by many people, adored, often until you actually get to meet them. Greater narcissist Boris Johnson had an excellent quote about him from Sir Max Hastings, who said, "The only people that actually like Boris Johnson are the ones that haven't met him." Accordingly, once you actually get to know him and you're subjected to his proximate manipulations, you realise what a thoroughly nasty individual he is. It is often the case, and this is what has led to the adage of never meet your heroes. Whilst you're at arm's length and enjoying their music or their acting ability or their sporting prowess, all's good. But get closer to them and you may well find out that you're dealing with a narcissist who isn't interested in you because you're just one of the little people, and that you should be worshipping them and don't touch me, you're grubby, you're a prole. Accordingly, narcissists are loved and they're reviled, and this one's wife has found out over the last few years, as a consequence of her need for all of the fuel and control by increased prominence, that there's actually a lot of people that don't like her. Throughout her life, they'll have people that will have not liked her. The people that she interacted with at school, former colleagues, people where they've watched her walk off, stealing some shoes, people that she's been haughty with, stylists. But all of that wouldn't have been reported on because she was a nobody. Nobody was interested in her. Unfortunately for her, that while she does operate a facade, which takes in the sugars, many other people see the repeated fractures in that facade, which her narcissism isn't capable of dealing with. Thus, a body of evidence is built up to demonstrate that she is unlikable, that she is an unpleasant individual, manipulative, nasty, self-centered. And of course, this results in her receiving oodles of challenge fuel on a near daily basis as she's criticised for her latest behaviours, with the insistence that she appear in the news and wanting whatever she does spoken about, for instance, walking across a car park. This opens her up to repeated criticisms. Her narcissism needs to fight against that by nullifying those threats to control, resulting in yet more publicity for her rather than necessarily withdrawing. And somebody else has now posed the question, does anybody like her? At the moment, Celebrity Big Brother is going on in the United Kingdom. I've not watched it, nor will I. But nevertheless, news comes my way, courtesy of Bethan Edwards for the Daily Mail, reporting that Louis Walsh and Sharon Osbourne took a savage swipe at this one's wife during Wednesday's episode of Celebrity Big Brother. The Duchess of Sussex, 42, was the latest in the X Factor judges' firing line after Louis, 71, took aim at Jedward, Ronan Keating and Andrew Lloyd Webber earlier this week. The duo were seen sitting in the kitchen chatting with Fern Britton, 66, when they discussed the royal family, with Sharon, 71, claiming this one's wife puts it on and is acting the whole time. Speaking of Catherine, Louis said, "She's a lovely lady. I met her at the Chelsea Flower Show last year, and I said, 'Did you call your son after me?' She was charming." Once again, somebody who has met Catherine, who has found her to be engaging and charming. She's empathic, a decent person, who genuinely takes an interest in people. Fern replied, "What big shoes to step into with Diana, and wearing the iconic engagement ring." Joining the conversation, Sharon added, "Can you imagine if that ring had gone to this one's wife? Oh my God." Louis asked, "Does anyone like her? Does anyone even like her other than Harry?" Sharing her opinion, Fern said, "She is mysterious. I would like to believe what I see, that she is a loving mother and wife, but I also feel there is manipulation behind all of that." Louis asked, "Sharon, you feel like that, don't you?" To which she replied, "Very much so. Yes, very much. I think it's all put on. I think she's acting the whole time. I just want Harry and the children to be happy, and for Harry to come home and make up with William and do what he's good at, added Fern. It's not the first time Louis and Sharon have slammed fellow Hollywood stars, well, this one's wife isn't a Hollywood star, but there we are, on the outside during their time on the ITV reality show. During Tuesday night, Louis slammed both Ronan Keating and Andrew Lloyd Webber. The former X Factor judge reignited his long-standing feud with Ronan, whose career he managed while he was a member of Boyzone. The housemates were treated to some music during the evening, and Ronan's solo single, Life is a Roller Coaster, started playing. Great song, Louis said before leaning over to Sharon and added, he was such a prick. He then said, everybody thinks he's a lovely guy. Do you know what I mean? It then goes on to talk more about the various swipes that he's had against Ronan over the years and also against Jedward, doubling down on their views. And they then talked about other people, including James Corden, arsehole. But we needn't go into that now. But the point is that you have some celebrities, you may know of them, you may not, who are on Celebrity Big Brother, and of course this one's wife comes up for discussion. And between the three of them, it's a unanimous querying, does anybody like her, seeing her as manipulative, seeing her as acting. So as a consequence of all of that, it's another instance of demonstrating that people don't like her. Of course, she's being spoken about, which is what she loves, that's fuel. But she wants to be portrayed in a positive light. She wants to be loved. She can't stand the fact that people ask, does anybody like her? Now, the answer to that is, there is a group, they're called the Sugars. There are members of the Sussex squad. There are those that like her because they live through her. They gain a vicarious thrill as a consequence of thinking that she's one of them who's done good. There are others who appear to like her simply because she serves a purpose for their own particular agenda. But there are a lot of people who don't like her. And here we have an instance of three individuals going on a television show and speaking quite freely about how they don't like her, how they see her as manipulative, as how they see her as acting all of the time, and they don't regard her as a genuine individual. Once again, this one's wife comes under criticism, and it's all as a consequence of the way that she behaves. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.